everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Steelers going up against the Ravens.
Larry, we are coming to you from the heart of Baltimore, nestled between Russell Street and I-395. We're at M&T Bank Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. The first carry now. This is Hill. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I like what they were thinking on defense. Just guard the first down sticks. Don't let anyone pass that. Didn't matter whether they threw it or ran it. They just ended up rallying to the football on the running play and stopped them short of a first down.
This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And he'll give it here to his running back. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands that can throw people.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right numbers.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he is taken down deep in Baltimore territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a change-up in baseball. You show your others.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Pardon me, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
He's got daylight. He's at the 30. And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good gain, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. This one left side caught by Patterson. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got a bike. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? He's got the lane, and there he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Only needed a yard, instead went backward. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. And on the ground they go with the running back. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Third down, here's Hill. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, the offense got the ball in a good spot, but they went nowhere. They settled for 3.
Brandon, I think it's safe to say that was a major disappointment. Had a great opportunity, excellent field position, and did not be able to move the ball at all. Big-time letdown.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 36. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on it a little bit more.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. A very solid gain of 27. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football, you can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and that usually gives you an advantage in running it.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. The Raven pass. Game getting in sync, another first down. So we have our first challenge of the new season, and remember, a little different this year. Gone is the hood. Now the referees, they're going to be given a tablet so that they can interact with the rules officials in New York.
And they've actually increased jobs. Someone now is responsible for the tablet all the time that brings it out to the referee, right? But we're also going to speed up things. The final call, back in Command Central in New York, they'll tell the official what the final decision is and administer it that way.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly it.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. It's Roethlisberger. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Now, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken from just outside the 30. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the... Return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Baltimore after this. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him. And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. They'll set up a throw. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And not great starting field position here for the offense. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Ravens on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded at the 27. So all right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. He completes it to Bryant. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. He'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Patterson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Patterson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Here comes the D swarming to the line. They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one good for 14 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
On 3rd down, that's Chambers. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Being chased out left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play that time for the Ravens. 42 yards. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Got to give a lot of credit to the defensive front there. They held their ground, pretty much stoned them on that.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their...
Yeah, the defense definitely showing blitz here. Now they'll run it on the toss. Runs through the contact. Still fighting. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that, but I think that they were right about this one.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And now running right down the numbers. There he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 43 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. And he knocks it through. Here's Myers now to kick it away. Returning it, John Ross. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
So, of course, they declined that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You say you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right? Already had what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
And to give this time to the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. Looking to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. The line of scrimmage is the 3 as they look to cash in on 3rd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. They're going to look to throw. That is intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And Bryant's got it over the middle.
And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. They need a touchdown, the two-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around.
Easy.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Out left side here to Bryant. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Tyus Bowser coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. On second down, Roethlisberger. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. The Steelers on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 17. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. The Steelers send out their punter now. Standing right on his own 5-yard line. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. And he'll give it here to his running back. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.